Here we have Matt Venables and Curtis Mearns sailing at wind in 5 knots, which is encouraging flow mode. So you can look at the 29er guide sheet and look through the overarching technique, jib setup, what my main should look like, downhaul, kicker, centerboard, shroud tension and tips, and all those things accompany this video, so make sure that you've got that to hand at the same time. Let's play it through and then we'll have a talk about it. Okay, so let's think about the crew first and what their main responsibilities are. So the number one responsibility for the crew is keeping the boat flat. So you want to use small, subtle, minimal movements to keep it flat. So let's watch Curtis here. Nice and high on the wire, with lots of very small movements, but fairly often, and trying to move before the gust or lull hits you, so being proactive. So watch that again. Small little movements before any gusts or lulls hit to keep the mast nice and upright. Pretty good. Let's think about the helm now. Now the helm, in terms of keeping the boat flat, doesn't actually contribute too much. Now, if you think about the helm as basically a ballast bag in this much breeze that the crew is in charge of moving around. So Curtis here has placed Matt on the kick bar, and then Matt is set in a nice stable position which enables him to set the sails correctly and steer accurately. So let's think about where Matt is putting the sails in this much breeze. So jib first. So our guide says that you want to sheet the leech of the jib until it's an inch outside the spreader or on the end of the spreader. So Matt here checked that by looking under the boom and lining the leech up with that point. So do that and you'll be pointing in the right direction. And then mainsail. So Matt's responsible for setting the mainsail shape. So he's got the main sheet here, you can see. Now we're in encouraging flow mode. So what that means is you're looking to have a nice open leech on the mainsail to encourage the air to flow around it. Now, what does that actually mean in real life? What that means is that you use this telltale that's on the end of the second batten down to judge that. So you want to look up, sheet the main on until it's flowing only 80% of the time. If it's flowing more than that, you've not pulled the main hard enough. If it's flowing less than that, you need to ease the main sheet slightly. So when we play this video through here, you'll be able to see that when the breeze drops, Matt looks up at that telltale to check that he's pulling the main sheet hard enough. So there we go, little look up, check, readjust. So always moving the main sheet in and out, a couple of clicks on the ratchet block so that telltale is flowing 80% of the time. So that's jib, main, boat balance. Now we've got steering. So if we zoom in here, we can see that Matt's using a dagger grip. Now that may be easier to help you with the main sheet, but actually it's better if you can use a panhandle grip. That's because in this much breeze you want really smooth steering with minimal subtle movements. So you don't want to be pinching and steering around all over the place. You just want to keep both telltales flowing nicely so that you're just trucking along that wind. So when we put that all together, smooth crew movements to keep the boat flat, accurate sheet position on jib and main sheet, and then some smooth subtle steering, we can see that the boat sails along smoothly upwind and allows both of you to begin looking around and racing. Best of luck.